Alright, so we got the F-150 up on the lift. Took out the spare already, the little shield back here. That's not going to be needed, just fast. We're currently taking off the transmission off of it. We got the carbon fiber drive shaft in as well. So I'm going to do the Yukon rear end right now, the Yukon Dura Grip. This is the 8.8, this is the 34th spline. If they had a need-in for these 8.8s, I would put a need-in, but all we could get right now is the Yukon units. And right now Anthony's taking down the trans over here. We're gonna take it to midnight to get it built. Meanwhile, we are taking all the stuff off from the factory cooler. Everything went right here, somewhere in the trash, I guess.
What?
The factory cooler.
Oh, it's right there.
Yeah, it's just a factory cooler right here. Got the line. You got your coolant running through there and your trans fluid. So we're gonna take that off, and we're going with the power by the hour fittings. The 10 AN fittings come right here, and run it up to a true pull mounted on the front. So we're gonna do that just to keep the trans temps down. So yeah, we're taking this off right now. We should maybe have it off by tonight. Alright guys, so we got the diff cover taken off. So these trucks, certain years, certain size variants, well, an 8.8 and the 9 3/4. I'm missing back a little bit. You do have the e-locker, which is you pull the switch for the 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, and it'll lock the rear end. But it's not too reliable for 1,000 horsepower. So yeah, so that's why we're swapping it out. The Yukon does hold off a little bit better. So yeah, these are the features some of these trucks have. So you can lock the rear end by pulling that little switch, that little wire that controls that. So that's pretty much not going to be used anymore. Yeah, the Yukon is just a mechanical locker, not electronic. So that one will do its job without anything telling it to do it. So yeah, I'm gonna take the wheels off, pull this one out, and swap it out. That's so we can get the rear end already done. We're also gonna do the VAS bars. So we're gonna do the VAS traction bars. And meanwhile, we'll get the trans, we'll drop it off, and then we'll start swapping turbos out. So that's what we got going on here at the moment. Alright guys, so we got the Yukon unit in here already. See if we focus it. There it is. It's already on there. Everything's still taking it apart. So I'm trying to put it back together. Meanwhile, the transmission is currently already coming out as well. So we're about to knock that down. Take it to we'll get it built, drop it off tonight. Pretty much after that, I think tomorrow we're gonna start modifying the hot side to install the other turbo kits. And meanwhile, start running the fuel pumps, fuel lines, fuel system, change the intake, and go from there. So we got the transfer case off, we got the transmission down already from the truck. There she is. The rear is already done. Already put it all back together. And don't forget, on the Yukon, you have to add the little additive. So we added that in there too for the clutches. If not, then your rear starts slipping. So we got that in there. We got the disc brakes back on. So the rear is already pretty much done. Now we got everything out over here. Get the flex plate out. So we are gonna fix. It has a little issues previously from never installed it before. It has little leaks right here from the return. I don't think you can see it on the camera much. It's a little dark. So we're gonna fix little things on here we saw, and then this was loose. So we gotta fix this. It was, I guess, we just noticed that when we're taking the trans off. So this has been loose for almost so long. We tightened that up. This is a little loose too, so we're tying that up. So yeah, we're gonna check everything we can back here while we're at it. And so we're already back here. We're gonna disconnect everything back from the intake, from the stock intake. We are gonna go with the GT manifold. Yeah, because that one has well, the one we got is from Team Beefcake. It already comes ported. Has a IMRC lockouts from MMR, and that one's pretty much ready to bolt on. And that one still has IMRC, so we're gonna take that one off and replace it, and lock the tank down tomorrow. Meanwhile, wait for the trans to get back. Start getting the fuel system, and then start modifying the hot side to get the precision turbos on there. So yeah, it's going pretty well already. Hopefully, I mean, we should have everything back together within a week. The only thing we're missing right now is a converter from Circle D. So until we get that, we'll finish everything up, and then until we get the transmission back from manual, and we should be good to go. So yeah. Alright guys, so we're back on the grade short, and these are the turbos that I had on. I have these 1.3. I believe they're dual ball bearing, but still a cast wheel turbo. So wheels heavier, it's not as efficient, it's not as good as precision, in my opinion. But it's still pretty good turbos. Over here, probably sell these if somebody's interested. Y'all can comment on here, hit me up. Because y'all want to have them right there. This is the old intake. It's trash now, but I still have the little valve, the RMRC in the back. So the valves were still functional. So pretty much on this, the GT manifold, we got the RMRC lockouts from MMR. On the 18, pretty much the Ford Coyote stuff, we got these, you can barely see it there. You got these little flaps inside. There you go, you can see a little in there right there. You got the flaps inside that, depending on the vacuum on the motor, depending on how much throttle you're putting, they fluctuate. This is supposed to give you a little bit better like torque and stuff. It's supposed to adjust the air velocity, something like that. So, but when you're going boosted, you want to delete them. So this truck did have them, so I'm sure they're getting in the way. These are the first things you're supposed to take off pretty much on a boosted Coyote. That's at least in my opinion. So yeah, we decided to swap the whole manifold from this ugly stock one. So we got this 18 GT manifold ported with the lockouts, and then obviously we got the bowl in the back already. In case you didn't know, if you're gonna swap the GT manifold, you got to have the hole in the back for the map sensor. Because on the Ford you got the map sensor in the back, and on these you don't have the intake. So yeah, you got to make a little hole, treat it, and pretty much install it in the back. And that's pretty much what we got going on. We install the intake, top of the injectors. Put them on back over here. So yeah, this is on 3 kit, got that on 3 weight kit and everything. So everything's nice, clean, but so yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna swap the turbos for my shop, the shop truck, the purple truck. Well, it's not purple, magma red. But yeah, we're gonna take the turbos off that one, put them on this one, and then upgrade might as well upgrade on mine. So yeah, so it'll be that way we're sure and make it to thousands. I mean, those turbos have been tested out. If you guys seen our previous videos, truck like I said runs 580, 780s in the 8s, low 9s, make over 1,000 on these little turbos. So they are smaller than the on 3s, but they work pretty good. I think, in my opinion, if somebody's gonna build one, a Coyote like an F150 or something, these are like the perfect turbos for a stock motor, because pretty much once you're at like 1100 to the wheels, these turbos are you're pretty much maxing them out. But I mean, you get the most response, least I guess lag and everything out of them. So yeah, they're in my opinion they're perfect. I'm just gonna might as well. I mean, these are good too. These are badass turbos, but now I gotta be careful because it's gonna make more power on the same amount of boost. So now I'm gonna run it at low boost level and wait for my built motor to get here. That way I don't blow my motor with these. But yeah, I like to see the difference too. So I'll be probably making little pulls after I install these. See like a little before and after. So I don't really have a before, but at least I can see how the truck is looking. But yeah, that's what we got going on. Over on this box, we got the Ford triple pump setup for the brake truck. We got the OS3 controller, the 10 AN feed, 8 returns. Got all the gauges, all that stuff in here, I believe. You can see the center unit. The regulator. Center unit should be in here. So I'll probably do that right now. A little unwrapping of the box of all the complete fuel system. So that's what we're going to be doing right now too. At the same time we're doing the manifold, I'll be working on the fuel system, start swapping turbos. And you need to modify the hot side. You see a little transition that I have done on there in the bottom. You can see if I can zoom in. Right there, made a little transition from the on-3 kit to the precision valve, precision flame, sorry. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So it's gonna have the same setup, lower regulator. Got the one for the high side, and then the direct injection, one for the port injection. And, pretty much it'll be the same setup on that one. So get it going. All right, guys. So got a little ahead of myself. We already knocked down the fuel tank. As you can tell, to be right here. We still have everything out of the truck. So we got the stock fuel sending unit out, and we already got this four sending unit with the triple 525 already set up. We got the fuel level sensor on there, and get the little canister plugged in already. So what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna drop it in. I'm gonna clock the bulkheads for the fuel line, for the fuel fittings we're gonna hook up, and then start running the wiring and the fuel lines. Let me place this down real quick. So we're gonna run the FC3 controller If you guys haven't seen one of these, it's pretty much this right here. Zoom in real quick. There you go. Focus it. So what this does pretty much controls all three pumps. So pump 1, 2, and 3, and then you got your 4-gauge wire for the power, for the ground, and then you have your switch for the first pump, and then switch for the second and third pump. So the way we're gonna hook it up is we're gonna get the reference off the stock harness, the one that turns on the factory fuel pump to turn on the fuel pump from here, and then use this, cross it to this side to turn on the second and third pump, but being powered by the hop switch. So let me kind of explain this. Put this down real quick. So there we got the block real quick. Here we have our controller, fuel pump controller. So the hot switch, how it works, if you guys are not familiar with this, this is kind of like a boost reference relay, I guess, put it that way. So whenever it detects about 5 to 6 pounds of boost, it will activate, it will close the circuit, and therefore pretty much turn on, in this case, turn on the second and third pump. So we're gonna hook up the factory wire, the one that turns on the factory pump, to this port right here, and then the hot switch will go from here to here. So that way, whenever the hot switch gets the 5 pounds of boost, closes the circuit, then we'll turn on the second and third pump off of the factory wire and off the hot switch. That way, this way is ran because that way you don't have to run 3 pumps all the time, since they do draw a good amount of amps. You don't want to just have 3 pumps running for no reason when you're just cruising. So you have 1 pump running, cruising around up to 6 pounds of boost. Then your second and third pump will kick on. That way you have the fuel you need to, support your power. So that's what we're gonna be running. We will put the converter on, put the trans on, and that way we start running the lines for the true coil. We're gonna run a true coil towards the front with the power by the hour fittings, 8AN fittings that go to the transmission adapters to the front. So that way we don't have no high trans temps. So that's what we're gonna be doing. So we're kind of putting some good progress. We already have the GT manifold on with the RMC lockouts. We already have the injectors on. We already have the regulators mounted. We already have the lines to the fuel rails, the regulator already hooked up. The crossover fuel line on the intake as well hooked up. So we already transferred also the map sensor, the 3-bar map. So that's done as well. So I'm thinking if we have the converter, we finish about 2 and 3 days. The last thing, I guess, fabrication we have to do is we are putting the 62, 66 I had 62, 66 precisions I had on my truck. I'm trying to talk too fast. So we took those off my truck. I put 64s, and then pretty much got the customer hooked up with these. These are right here. So it's a small turbo, but man, these things make some pretty good power. You have seen our previous videos of our truck running them, so they're still pretty much brand new. As you can tell me in the video, they're brand new. I've only seen a couple, maybe, how many track passes? 6, 8 track passes maybe, if that, a couple street hits. So I think I've had them for 1,500 miles, which is nothing. So they're still perfect condition. So I had these on 3s before. Not a big fan of their cast. Nothing against on 3. They're good. They do good stuff. But yeah, these cast turbos aren't. Sometimes they don't cut it for the power we're trying to make on this one. So that's it right there on 367s. The billet wheels are much better, but we don't have billet wheels. We have cast wheels. So we're gonna. The goal is, like I said, it has said already like 20 times, it's 1,000 horsepower. So for sure on the 62s, it'll get to 1,000. And hopefully we have this thing ready by this weekend. I think for now we're just waiting for that converter. Everything else is here. We got that carbon fiber draft shaft up in the front at the store. Pretty much got everything else. So I guess that's pretty much phase 1 of the build. I guess we got to this point pretty quick. So yeah, it's pretty much the part 1 of this build. We're within a couple, 3 days, we got this far already. So we got the rear end built already. We got the trans off to midnight. We got the, we're installing the fuel pumps already. So by today, like I said, we should have the fuel system done, and we should have shoot, if I had the converter, but I guess I'll make cost circle D real quick, see an update on that. That way we could get that going. So yeah, this truck is going back together pretty nicely, no issues, everything pretty quick. Obviously it's a brand new truck, 2020 with 1,000 miles, so it shouldn't have no issues. Alright guys, so here we have it. We have the transitions already welded. That's what I call them, transitions welded to the on-3 kit. These little elbows pretty much just goes from 3" to the precision flange, which is about 2.5 inches. So I pretty much do this little, let me show you guys. I have this little reducer, pretty much I weld on to weld on. So that's on there already, and yeah, I mean pretty much we're ready to put the turbos on. I already changed the oil feeds and returns from the old turbos to the new precisions. I'm about to drop those in there, and I'll show y'all right now how it looks. So I'll keep watching.